FBI operatives rank among the most influential enforcers, even surpassing police officers in authority. What unfolds when these federal agents make mistakes and local law enforcement attempts to detain them? One man was confronted on the sidewalk by a group of officers who insisted he resembled a suspect they had been pursuing. However, the police were unaware that he was in fact a covert FBI operative on the verge of doing the unimaginable.
Get out of my face, man. You guys are harassing me. Yes, you guys are. You're fucking harassing me. Yes, you are. No. He's harassing me. Why are you harassing me? You're assuming I'm someone I'm not.
Okay, if you're not, then...
No.
I'm free to go.
Oh, so am I being detained?
Yeah, you are.
For what?
The officers stated that they stopped this individual because he resembled someone they had an active warrant for. Keep in mind that the law mandates police to possess reasonable grounds to believe someone has committed an offense before proceeding with an arrest, meaning they had clearly exceeded their authority.
I'm not. Yes. For what? I don't have a warrant. You're very wrong. No, you are wrong. What do you mean if you're wrong? You're wrong. You're wrong. Hold on.
The police persist in offering a remarkably vague justification for holding him and even mention that if they're mistaken, then so be it, an alarming remark that's both careless and risky. If a law enforcer feels at ease applying that reasoning here, it's probable they'd also feel at ease applying it in a more critical scenario, potentially putting civilians at risk.
Hey, yo! Hey, officer! No. Matter of fact, look at my ID.
You got the wrong guy, I'm telling y'all.
Look at my ID, motherfucker.
You guys still got the wrong guy. You guys are fucking stupid.
That's not you.
You guys are racial profile thinking I'm somebody. You guys really had nothing else to go to college for but be a cop and harass me? To assume I'm somebody I'm not? My ID's in my back pocket. Watch how funny this is.
Watch this.
No, don't hate me. Look at it.
Oh,
what does that say? What does that say?
Out of nowhere, this individual produces a legitimate FBI identification card, confirming both that he's not the person they're after and that these officers are now in serious trouble. Notice how this officer shifts from steadily maintaining eye contact with the suspect to completely avoiding his gaze after viewing the credentials.
Oh!
Wrong guy.
Oh!
Wrong guy.
Oh my God! No, get the fuck off me, dude! Get off me, dude! I need your cards. I need your supervisor over here. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Look at him. Get him. Tough guy. And this guy here.
No, what do you mean I look like?
The whole incident was extremely unprofessional and mishandled due to the officer's actions, but at least the police remained courteous to this agent after learning his real identity. Things turned out differently for ATF agent Burke, who was mistreated so severely by law enforcement that he was forced to file a legal complaint against them. Agent Burke was sent to a residence to seize a weapon that had been unlawfully obtained by the occupants. However, rather than being allowed entry, the door was slammed in his face and the residents contacted the authorities. The officers were provided with Agent Burke's badge number but still handled the situation as a burglary and treated Burke like a suspect.
Hey, turn around, let me see your hands. Turn around, let me see your hands. Okay, let me see your hands. I need to see some ID. Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now!
I'm a federal agent.
917-110-3.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground!
Get on the ground. Agent Burke declines immediate commands to lie down, likely so officers can determine whether or not he's carrying a weapon, and proceeds with the operation cautiously. Burke assumes that being a federal agent exempts him from the directives of local police, but if that were true, any offender could falsely claim federal status to ignore police commands. While he may not view himself as a danger, the fact remains that he should have respectfully complied so the officers could assess the situation smoothly, but instead, tensions continue to rise.
What the heck's the matter with you? Who do you think you are? Get on the ground!
I'm not getting out of here.
Chopper, thanks.
I'm not getting out of
917, pulling up.
I got my ID.
Do not reach for your waist! Keep your hands up!
After a second officer shows up, Burke ultimately complies with the commands and gets down on the ground.
Do not resist!
I'm not resisting.
You're acting like a moron!
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Don't do this. Wait a second. I got a medical condition. Get my license out of my pocket.
We're getting you secured first!
Please, wait. Don't go. Hold on. I'm hyperventilating. Please. Wait, please, sir. I'm not.
Stop resisting.
Would you please get my ID out of my left pocket?
Stop.
I'm begging you. My wife's right. Please. It's right here. Please get it. Wait, sir, help me up. Just hold me up. Sir, I can't do it. Wait. Sir.
Stop resisting now.
Please help me. Sir, please get my federal creds.
Get your taser out.
No, don't do that, please. Sir.
Don't make me tase you. You're gonna get tased. Put your right arm behind your back.
Okay.
Put your right arm behind your back.
Help me up.
No.
Help me up.
No, you're gonna stay on the ground and put your right arm behind your back.
Let me breathe. Let me breathe.
You can
I'm
breathe
gonna.
just fine.
I'm gonna. Ow! Don't do that. Okay. Here. My God.
Get him cuffed.
It is cuffed. Please stop.
Get him cuffed.
Please stop, sir. Wait a second. Sir. Please help me up.
In the troubling video, Burke repeatedly informs the officers that he's an ATF agent responding to a call and asks them to simply retrieve his ID from his back pocket. Even after finally checking his identification, the officers still keep him detained and escort him to their squad car.
Why would you make us do this?
I didn't want you to. I wanted to. Wait.
Hold on, he's holding him. I'm knocking the door.
Relax.
Hold him.
Hey, guys, please, just talk to me for 1 second, please.
Get in the car.
No, wait.
Talk later.
Sir.
The officers then shoved Burke into the car, ignoring his requests and explanations about his health condition.
Please, sir.
If you are a real police officer, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I was trying to give you my creds.
We got him in the car.
He
He might even be a real cop, but he wouldn't tell us, wouldn't do anything, wouldn't get on the ground. I mean, what the heck? We had to taser him, so we got a medic coming. If he is an actual police officer, he got to be ashamed of himself.
Sir, I'm not. I'm trying to.
You're not. You're right. You're not.
My creds.
Yeah. No, you screwed up. You bet.
Officers continued to hold Burke in their squad car for over an hour before eventually letting him go without pressing charges. While Burke may not have demonstrated flawless behavior himself, he chose to file a lawsuit against the Columbus Police Department, citing excessive force and an unlawful detainment. Initial legal filing claims that the encounter, which left him with both physical and emotional trauma, resulted in his removal from field duty and reassignment to purely administrative and support tasks, with the agency needing to make accommodations for him. As of this video's posting, the lawsuit remains unresolved. Realistically, both sides in this case share some level of fault, but when it comes to Mac Proctor, the situation is entirely different. Mac is allegedly a covert agent with extensive legal expertise, and he's about to reveal just how dishonest officers can be. Without any provocation, Mac was parked in a private lot awaiting a takeout order during his shift as a delivery driver. While his car wasn't in a marked parking space, it wasn't obstructing traffic either, and he had only briefly left it unattended while collecting his food. Upon returning, a police officer approached Mac, claiming he was in violation of parking regulations.
Alright, Mr. Proctor. Everything okay? Do I need to answer any of your questions?
You don't have to answer anything.
Okay,
Look, you stand here all day. Get paid either way.
can you go ahead and finish your job
Stand.
so I can carry on?
What's up with the anger, dude?
I'm not angry.
You're not angry? You always talk to everybody like that?
I'm not angry.
Oh, okay.
I just want you to go ahead and wrap things up, please.
Naturally, Mac is fully within his rights to remain silent in response to the officer's inquiries, especially those unrelated to any criminal investigation. At no time did he raise his voice or make any inappropriate remarks, yet the officer questioned why he seemed so upset. Many believe that certain law enforcement officers are accustomed to always having authority and dominance during these encounters, and that may very well apply to this officer. Mac asserted his rights and simply requested for things to proceed more quickly. The officer appeared caught off guard and interpreted it as a confrontational remark.
Alright, well, we'll give you a break on it, but you know what I'm saying? This isn't a parking spot, okay, dude?
You're not giving me a break. You're harassing me at this
harassing
point.
you because
I'd
you
like
parked
to
here?
leave. May I leave now, please?
Well, do you understand?
Am I being
stopped?
detained?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Alright? So do you understand why I stopped you?
Do I need to answer any more of
you
your
don't-
questions?
You don't have to.
Okay.
The officer tells Mac that he is being held for parking in this location. To issue a ticket for a parking offense, one must be in violation of either municipal, state, or federal regulations, such as parking in a handicapped space without valid credentials.
Can I just give you your stuff so you can leave?
Can you?
I can, but you're the one. I would have let you go a long time ago.
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can
I'll
leave?
give you right now. I just want to know that you're okay, because usually I don't give people all this.
What do I need to do for you to hand me my documents so I can be on my way?
You're okay.
I don't need to answer any of your questions.
I'm trying to say that.
You're trying to display your power to me right
No,
now.
I'm concerned about it. Is there a problem to be concerned about another human being?
You have no reason to be concerned about me.
So it's okay then. You're okay. Then
You can hand me my documents and I can be on my way, or we can...
Okay. You're not gonna. Okay, here. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take a chance on you. Right here, Mr. Proctor. You got everything's cool. All right. We're blocking traffic here to your stuff.
Mac was permitted to leave without any further trouble, but this encounter raises concerns about why he faced additional resistance after merely invoking his Fifth Amendment rights. In fact, it's odd that the whole situation occurred in the first place. Had the officer noticed Mac's car blocking traffic, the matter could have been resolved by just asking him to relocate his vehicle and letting him go on with his day. Instead, the officer detained Mac, stopping him from moving the car and leaving it in the exact spot that was supposedly disrupting traffic. The officer eventually discovered that Mac wasn't even a federal agent or official. He simply demonstrated how important it is to understand your legal rights. Criminals will go to great lengths to avoid getting caught, but what unfolds when they slip away from law enforcement right under their watch? Here are 4 instances of just that, starting with Joel Delgado, who had carefully plotted his getaway days ahead of time. Joel had been taken into custody on numerous charges, including drug trafficking and shooting his girlfriend, and was facing a lengthy prison sentence. However, following his latest arrest, he claimed to be seriously hurt, leading officers to bring him to court in a wheelchair. This is why authorities were completely stunned when the following occurred. For someone restricted to a wheelchair, Joel sure could move. Just moments after fleeing, he vanished without a trace.
Now, which way you go?
Which way you rally? Cut that way.
What's your phone? My damn radio came.
Hold on. I tried to come behind you yet.
I don't know where he went. Hey, Hook. The wheelchair dude got up and ran. Yeah. I couldn't catch his ass. And my radio was in the boat. I had my camera on. The wheelchair dude. I couldn't catch him there. Till they pulled off. Yeah. I can't even remember his name. He on the road. Alright. Hey, he took off, man. The wheelchair dude ran. Yeah, the neck brace on and all this.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't need that wheelchair very much, did he?
Hell no.
Sadly for Joel, his taste of freedom didn't last long, as just a few hours later he was tracked down and taken into custody again, adding a felony escape charge to his growing record. At least pursuits on foot don't pose the same risk to the public as high-speed car chases. But that didn't seem to matter to Malik Davis, who hit the gas and took off running from the authorities. Authorities reported that the pursuit started after they heard several gunshots coming from the vehicle, but when they signaled him to stop, the driver instantly took off on foot. Everything seemed to be going his way for a bit, until he made a critical error. Somehow, officers were unable to trap him, even with 2 squad cars and several civilian vehicles closing in around him, so regrettably, the risky pursuit went on. The Pontiac committed several blunders within the initial minutes of the pursuit, crashing into multiple civilian cars and even a police cruiser, yet officers still couldn't halt him. The suspect then took the chase onto the highway, where he spent 10 minutes darting through traffic. But after more than 13 minutes of the pursuit, officers determined it was too risky to keep following and chose to call it off. This kind of decision is typically made when it's clear the suspect is endangering the public. If police stop chasing, the driver will likely ease off and begin driving more cautiously. This pursuit could have ended much sooner, but the officers just didn't have the necessary driving skills. However, the next chase features near-flawless maneuvering by law enforcement, yet it was complicated by something almost no one could have anticipated. This suspect managed to flee in a stolen police cruiser but was apprehended far sooner than he imagined. One officer used all his training and swiftly forced the vehicle off the road. The damaged squad car was quickly surrounded, but somehow, not a single officer saw what happened next coming.
Hey, y'all, do not walk up on this car. We got enough people up here. Dog! Let the dog! He's on the move again in Coco K9 and 4, going north on 95. Air 1, follow that car. You got another car.
Air 1's got that, still northbound.
Amazingly, he managed to break free from the initial wrecked patrol car and seize control of another one before hitting the gas and taking off from the scene yet again.
Any other vehicle dealing with us, block your doors. Stick it. Alright. Delta 32, advise northbound. Which car? Is the Coco car?
Coco SUV. In the shoulder right now.
Ticket from both corduroy units. Full ticket. Are there guns in the front of the car? Ask the K9 handler from Coco. He says yes, there probably is.
Acting quickly, the officers radioed ahead to arrange a unit with a stinger, a law enforcement tool designed to deflate a vehicle's tires and gradually bring it to a halt. That's why the car is now visibly smoking, and before long, it'll have to decelerate, or the driver will risk putting himself in serious danger.
Alright, he's braking for the median, guys. He's braking for the median. Braking for the median. Everybody slow down. Don't ball up here.
It's underneath the wires. Underneath the wires.
After coming to a controlled halt, the suspect stepped out of the vehicle and was taken into custody by officers. It's hard to believe such a precise takedown came from the same police who allowed him to steal a squad car right under their noses. Still, the stop was by the book. But when it comes to officers letting suspects slip away in plain sight, there's no better example than the case of Eli, also known as the LA Lobos. Eli was on trial for stabbing a 33-year-old man and was brought into court in both handcuffs and leg irons. But just moments after being unrestrained, he made a run for it. Somehow, Eli was able to sprint from one end of the courthouse to the other without being stopped and slipped out through a rear exit. However, his time out of police custody was brief. After just a 2-hour manhunt, he was discovered hiding inside the closet of an apartment he had been spotted breaking into. In addition to the original murder charge, Eli was also slapped with 2 more charges: burglary and second-degree escape. Apprehending a suspect typically takes officers hours, but what occurs when offenders are caught within mere seconds? From the most disastrous bank heist ever to kids swiping cars for TikTok clout, here are a few of the most humiliatingly quick captures in law enforcement history, beginning with Antoine Sims, who phoned police to gripe about cold fries at McDonald's, only for officers to discover he was a fugitive murder suspect.
Fresh fries. Okay. He said, okay, the fries are not hot. Touch the fries. He said, no, they're not hot. And at this point, you don't touch them, so, you know. Yeah, I have to get it fresh set. I said, can I also get the receipt? That was 5 minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, sir. 5 minutes ago, I can run my store however I want to run my store. He said, matter of fact, you can leave my property. Get off my property now.
After speaking with the officer, the store manager says he's willing to issue a refund, provided Antoine never enters his restaurant again. But as the investigator entered Antoine's name into the database, he uncovered the last thing he anticipated from such a routine visit. It's a homicide warrant out for the exact man who contacted the authorities to begin with. It turns out Antoine had previously been taken into custody for torching a car with a woman trapped inside but never appeared in court to deliver his final plea. Amazingly, he ended up guiding the officers straight to his location. All they needed to do was bring him in.
Just come over here, I'm gonna have you sign this real quick.
I said I'm not under arrest.
No, you're not. Fill this part out.
Can I see it, sir?
Yeah. You come over here, man.
No, I'm afraid of y'all, sir.
Why are you afraid?
3 years, sir.
Why are you doing that?
I know how to fill it out.
Why are you doing that?
I know how to fill it out. Am I
All right,
arrested?
yeah.
No, let's do it again.
Car. Got him! Contact, backside!
The officer was able to get close enough to Antoine and used a stun device, making it easy and swift for them to arrest him. Antoine was later charged with murder, criminal trespassing, and obstructing law enforcement, and was locked up to ensure he'd never flee again. Antoine was certainly old enough to know better, but the offenders in the next incident weren't even old enough to attend high school. On April 11, 2022, authorities got reports of a vehicle stolen from Bayshore Mall. An hour later, an officer spotted the car and activated his lights before it instantly sped off, triggering a pursuit.
2 flat tires on the driver's side. They're wrong lanes. Traffic again. There's no traffic though. Coming up to heavy traffic. Alright, we are east on Bender. Back in pursuit, but in the correct lanes to travel. East on Bender, approaching the parkway.
Earlier, officers successfully struck the vehicle with a stop stick, a tool designed to deflate the tires of a fleeing car and reduce its speed. Police confirmed they had punctured 2 of the vehicle's tires, yet the driver refused to ease up, even as the car began to physically break down.
Their car is falling to pieces right now. They just lost their back tire and their back bumper. Coming up to a red light at Bender and Port. Nearly missed the vehicle, slid out of control.
The vehicle spins out just as a second squad car closes in on them, but the suspects abandon the car and take off on foot. In total, 7 individuals exit the vehicle, but both officers choose to pursue the driver who fled to the left.
They're running behind the 8. Northbound. Police! Stop! We're releasing the dog! Driver. Black, male, red sweater.
During the pursuit, however, officers relayed the positions of the other suspects over the radio, enabling additional units to attempt locating and capturing all 7 individuals.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get down! Get down! Car, I am warning. Get down!
Okay, I'm down.
Clearly, this girl didn't appear to be dressed for a high-speed chase, and officers soon discovered she was only 13 years old. One after another, all 7 individuals from the vehicle were swiftly caught and taken into custody.
Out! Let's go!
Although the arrests weren't immediate, the officers did a remarkable job tracking, capturing, and detaining 7 different suspects at once in record time. Once they were all in custody, it became evident that every suspect was a minor under the age of 16, with the youngest being only 12. They also confessed that the entire motive behind stealing the car and fleeing from police was a TikTok challenge. It's truly a miracle none of the kids, or anyone else on the road, were harmed. Lives could have easily been lost if the driver had simply dozed off behind the wheel, just like professional football player Marshawn Lynch once did, literally.
Still sleeping?
Police discovered Marshawn asleep in his vehicle, which was in a completely undrivable state. The front driver's side wheel had neither rim nor tire, and both tires on the passenger side were nearly coming off. Officers detected the scent of alcohol inside the car, and based on the condition of both Marshawn and the vehicle, they had to suspect he'd been driving while intoxicated, crashed, and then passed out at the wheel. However, the officers couldn't proceed with the investigation unless he exited the car, which Marshawn refused to do.
Obstructing an investigation. That is a criminal offense, and you will go to jail. There's not different kinds. There's only one kind. Failure to obey a command by an officer or lawful order is obstruction. So it's your last chance. Step out of the vehicle for us. Everything is understandable.
Okay, step out, please.
All I'm asking is, why will I not be pulled out? Get on your phone. He does smell like alcohol. Yep.
At least Marshawn won't be hit with a resisting arrest charge, as he likely surrendered more easily than anyone ever featured on this channel. Tests revealed Marshawn's blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit, and he's now facing charges for DUI and operating an unregistered vehicle. Surprisingly though, this bank thief was caught even faster. The police were so well prepared, he didn't even get the chance to put up a fight. In July 2023, officers in Ohio responded to a break-in alarm at a nearby bank. When they arrived, there were no obvious signs of forced entry, but after a closer inspection, they noticed a flashlight beam coming from the ceiling. The cops then positioned themselves where they anticipated the suspect would try to flee, and waited for him to come right to them.
Get out.
As the burglar dropped through the ceiling, he was met by two officers aiming their firearms straight at him, and landed directly in the trash. Despite the seriousness of the offense, this thief was only taken into custody once and likely served a lengthy sentence. Devin Whitmer, on the other hand, managed to get himself arrested a staggering 24 times, with this being the quickest. On May 13th, a patrol officer spotted Devin loitering near some homes in his neighborhood, where he attempted a bizarre tactic to dodge yet another arrest.
Whitmire? What's that? Devin? Tevin. Go on, do you recognize me? Do you have ID on you? Because I know you have a twin. Did you talk to somebody over across from Lee Garden about a couple days ago?
1837.
Do you have ID on you?
Devin insisted he was actually his twin brother, Tevin, but officers weren't fooled for long, as his tattoos clearly gave him away. Since there was an active warrant for his arrest, the police informed him he was being taken into custody, news that Devin was clearly not thrilled to hear.
Okay, well, can y'all back up so I can get my gun off of you?
Where's your gun at?
Don't worry about it, bro.
No.
If y'all,
Relax. We're not gonna fight with the gun at
no, that's what I'm telling you.
I know. Hey.
Hey, y'all, we just fuck.
Down.
Oh, this is fun.
Following a brief scuffle involving some shoving and twisting, Devin was taken to the ground and handcuffed just a minute after officers properly confirmed his identity. He kept resisting until he was secured inside a squad car, but in the end, it only led to an additional charge of resisting arrest on top of his already extensive record. Without a doubt, the most intense and rapid arrest, however, belongs to Taylor Williams, who managed to escalate a straightforward request into something far more serious.
Y'all are racist as hell. Y'all didn't do shit.
Officers were dispatched to a house party for a trespassing complaint, where they encountered Taylor, who explained that after a few disputes, the host had thrown her out of the gathering. At first, it seemed like typical teenage drama, but it quickly became clear why she was really told to leave.
There was no fight that happened tonight?
No.
Okay. Monkey, did you go talk to the other security guard?
I don't care. The security guards are racist. I don't get no fuck what they say. They gonna say shit against me because I don't live here.
Okay.
That Mexican ass bitch right there. I was trying to talk. I don't care.
I know, but here's the thing. You don't want to be causing a scene with everyone.
I am, because y'all not listening to me, because y'all not gonna do nothing. Because the last time we got into an altercation, y'all didn't do nothing.
What am I doing right now?
After getting into a dispute with one officer, she storms off to stir up more conflict with others at the party. At this point, the police have no urgent reason to arrest her. They simply want her off the premises so things can settle down. But when she returns and refuses to de-escalate, they're forced to take more drastic action.
Y'all getting on the wrong people. Y'all trying to tell me I'm the bad guy. When you see him cursing me out, but he kept talking to me. But what, he called me a bitch though. Okay, but then you need to ban him. Okay, because he called me a bitch. I don't get no. He's drunk. He's drunk. No, I'm trespassing. He drunk, and I'm trespassing. But they let me in that bitch with your drunk ass. Look at him.
Man, I'm gonna explain the legal justification to you.
I don't get no.
That's it.
Okay, but at the same time, they said that she was here first, and they kept letting her in and out.
That matters.
Y'all are racist as fuck, and I'm gonna tell. I don't get no fuck. Y'all are racist as hell. Because when I press charges, y'all didn't do shit. Y'all let them do whatever they want to do, and y'all let them do coke in that bitch. You gonna okay? Arrest me then.
Okay. If you're refusing to leave, that's fine.
I'll leave. Let me leave. Let me leave! Let me fucking leave!
You're done.
The arrest didn't take much time at all, but it was still long enough for Taylor to rack up 2 charges of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer.